Welcome to Mori. This time on Iceberg of Blame. The video you just saw, or for some of you that just saw, was recorded without audio. So I have to do the bloody thing again. Fun for you, not really fun for me, but now I know it a little bit better, so let's hope it goes well this time. I fucking hope so. Oh well. Well, it's 10 levels, and each level gets more difficult. Basically, the whole thing is not. You don't take it that seriously, because it's not that seriously as you think it should be. Or not should be. Bit frustrated. But whatever. We're getting through it. Okay. Well, level 1. Blame. Well, Blame is talking about the manga. Manga Blame, basically. Safeguard bats is just the safeguards that are attacking the mecha structure. Everybody without a net terminal gene is being killed. Doesn't have the net terminal gene. Okay. Killy has a registration. His his identity wiped. His safeguard identity wiped. Is basically Sonecon asking why Kitty doesn't remember being a safeguard. Because he's a pre-safeguard. He was not an original. He was not part, because at some point he was not part of the safeguards anymore. So he was somewhere in the manga when he fought against her with Toa. He got his safeguards wiped. Senecon tries to fix him, but it didn't work, so he wiped it. So he got all his functions back and could, fight back against the safeguards, read people's uniforms, read people's irises. He can just look really far and can scan all different things and that kind of stuff. Netflix fields in a chapter when Sibo was still in her old body, and was still with the company a long time ago. They went into the net sphere with a girl that's been hooked up to a machine, all gruesome, and she sees herself in a giant field. But suddenly a safeguard now, a Silicon Life pops up, kills her, she expands in real life, and the whole thing explodes. It looks like a field, but that's the only thing we know how it looks like. What the fuck is going on? Would like to know that myself too, but if you read enough, then you will get to it. And the same with this video. But hey, that's just me. City big, city very big. Big city, big mega structure. Endlessly built for the builders. They're just on autopilot and can just go on and on and on and on and on. Silicon Life bad. Yeah, Silicon Life wants to just want to keep the chaos so their existence can still prevail. If somebody gets the city back, then they will be outnumbered. Then they will decline because there's competition, and now there's no competition. So that's good for them. Sibo, good hacker who can read. Yeah, she hacks different things. She hacks her old box, her old boss, and is just and can also read. She can also read the side of Toa, all the characters that the planters thought were just were nothing, but were actually symbols. Builders neutral, but still bad. I mean, the builders are just on autopilot and just kept building over and 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 over. And yeah, they don't really have a conscience themselves, so it doesn't really fucking matter. The Netsphere, the shitty Netflix movie. Yeah, the movie is pretty damn shit because it's just about, a few chapters of the manga just working, and then lots of the characters or some of the characters are modified and are just, it doesn't go anywhere. It's a nice entry for new fans, but for old fans, it's not great. It's fun, but it's not great and not that popular. But it was just a gateway, basically, for it. And the Terminal Gene Goods. Don't take this list too seriously, but yeah. Net Terminal Gene Good. Well, yeah, if you have the Net Terminal Gene, you can get into the Net Sphere. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, some other YouTuber had made a video on this, but he had no clue about all the works. He read Blum once and I read not anything else and was just mocking this thing, so I'm trying to do a better job. Still a bit irritated though. But oh well. Noise. Noise is a prequel to Blame. Basically in the same universe before the megastructure really became the megastructure, and how the safeguard came to be, and how Musume came to be, and how the gold, the Silicon Life came to be, the system came in place to get the Silicon Life, get the Netzer going, the terminal gene that everybody who had it could not enter, and anyone who had it could enter the Netzer, and when would be killed. But still, if you read Blame, then you don't really see anything of the gold, so it just doesn't really flow into one another that good. But hey, it's still nice with the gold. It looks great, so why not? The moon was integrated into the city. That's because it's being used as building blocks, raw material for the mecha structure. There was I'll just tell you that later because that's later in the thing, in the list. But it's just building blocks. Every planet is used as building blocks, basically. It's pronounced Blum, yes, because it's used as a sound fix, for because the Japanese don't know the sound fix for Blum, for the sound Blum, the gun going off, the GBE going off. They made it Blame as an error. Nihei said in a French interview around the mid 2000s somewhere. Yeah. Okay, I'm still going good. Now I want to make sure that I'm actually recording audio, or else it's just an hour of nothing. But hey. Okay. Where was I? Builders reproduce exponentially. Yeah, the builders just make the city just forever. They're just an autopilot and just building, reusing stuff and just building forever, basically. Because nobody has the power over the city. Nobody with the gene can take over. Silicon Life used a bioweapon to remove everyone's net terminal gene. Yeah, basically the virus just wiping everybody out. Thus, nobody has the genes. Thus, nobody can take over. But that's just a theory. That's not really a thing. We don't know really what the virus is, basically. Blame 2. Blame 2 is what happens after the manga. Killy has won. Killy has brought back the power to the people, the Netsphere, and made a giant hole into the mecha structure so what Sibo wanted, and to escape the mecha structure. But she's dead, so yeah. Doesn't make much sense, but that's what the chapter tells us. And told through a Silicon Life. And also that the safeguards have no are are almost non-existent. There's only a few left. That's basically what that is. Blame Gagwan is a 10-chapter manga that's just a few joke chapters, like they're in a school and they're going around killing people and just having normal school days with all the characters. And then a few other chapters that also make no sense, like a fairy tale of a creature that lives in the water, and when somebody makes a wish and thinks it's a hot chick, but no, it's a giant monster, and just from a scare he just dies of a heart attack, or other ones are really stupid. And then you have Netflix Engineer, that's also a story with a Netflix engineer that also tells what happened to the safeguards and tries to fix something. That's also a more interesting part of the story that explains a bit more what happened after the safeguards, after the city was saved. Sagana has the same goal as Kitty, but is forced to try to kill him. I mean, not really. She just tries to kill everything, especially in the manga, to kill everything that doesn't have the safeguards. It doesn't have the net terminal gene. She just tries to kill everything that's on her way. It's on her path, basically. And later on, she actually tries to fix it by finding Sibo, protecting her, getting a child with her, etc., etc. Lyrics are spent the city's fast and anyone can travel through it, making it very efficiently infinite. Yeah, like I said already, it's getting bigger and bigger, so it's also mostly impossible to get through the whole thing in one's lifetime. Like, some tribes have no idea how big it is, and just how big is their section. There's nothing beyond that. You just can't comprehend how big this thing is. Nobody can. Original Blame one shot, Kitty is a Cup, yeah, 1995, one shot that he made for a prize for the afternoon magazine. Is with him being a cop trying to solve a murder case before he became Kitty, before pre-safeguard, but we don't know really how that all happened. That's never really explained. Excuse me. The 2003 OVA. 2003 OVA is a 6-part OVA from 3 to 4 minutes with an extra part that was only released on the DVD, with some chapters of the manga just combined with and just going through the story, but more in an experimental way and more made on low budget with no team. But it has the atmosphere and has the style down of Blame, like you would think an anime of Blame would look like. And basically, it has it's just Kitty's memory that's being more like in episode 7. You see that Kitty's memory is being deteriorated, and you see all these different points in the manga, but just going through each other, or just half of text just popping out. It doesn't make any sense, basically. So yeah, that was that for the OVA, and I have both, and I have 2 DVDs, a bootleg and an original. And the DVD is also a fun little interview that has menu that has like a terminal of the mecha structure, basically, like you would see in the mecha structure, basically. And it's also subbed. The whole thing is subbed for the Japanese DVD. For all the DVDs, it's subbed. Probably just to sell more, I guess. Now, the 2007 CGI OVA, 2007 CGI anime is like 4 minutes, 3 minutes each, 2 episodes, with a few chapters in him with Sanakon really short in it. And originally, all CGI, and originally that came on DVD with two figures of Sanakon and Killy. And I also have both of them. Not the highest quality figures, but still a nice thing for any collector of play merchandise. And we went to Mori. It's a memory and personal backup. Yep, and that's is this channel. This channel is based on that character or backup. It's a backup that's found on a corpse that Kitty finds and uses as a hanger. It's multiple personalities on one backup, and it's called Mori. Memento Mori. And Mori is later on backed into a sub of the megastructure that is while Kitty handed over to an authority figure, and there she's being kept just to keep her safe in case he loses the pendant or that's destroyed or whatnot. And Mori is basically explained that he's in a sub where other kids are sleeping, but their bodies are gone, so they just sleep forever. So basically, they're dead, and it's just stored in there, never to be used again. And it is all told to a just giant worm that lives in there that explained this all to her. And she also, before that, she also tried to use Kitty's body to walk again. Basically, just steal his body, but you injecting it out a needle through his eye to control. But yeah. The city is a Dyson sphere. No, the city is not a Dyson sphere. Probably, because it's too gigantic and it doesn't look like it's a Dyson sphere. Because how the city is structured in all forms, and because it also used the sun all as a source probably, or just consumed it whole. But he was a big fan of the Halo series, and he played a lot of it back in the day. I even met the creators of the Halo team of the first game on a con in like mid 2000s, and they talked a lot basically over about the game, that they're fans of Blame, and just going on and on and on and on. And you might be inspired by it for the manga. Yeah. Empty spherical pocket is the exact diameter of Jupiter. Yeah, that is a big room that is the exact same size as Jupiter, because he put the exact same size of Jupiter as through what an observer, a Silicon Life, tells Kitty of what this room is. And the room was basically for raw materials of the planets that's been used to build this city. And yeah, and later on he kills him because Silicon Life have to die. CB is not a laser, no, because this laser is basically it just sends a signal to the megastructure and changes the gravitational force. That's why it all expands constantly. So no, it's not a laser like you see in the movie. But how would you let that show in the movie that it works like that way? It has to be a laser, because how else can it just go through metal and all that stuff? So easier for the animators. Could he predate a safeguard? Yeah, because he was a secret pre-safeguard, was made before the safeguard. High level safeguard that was made before the safeguards. And he has no idea of what he is, particularly. Kitty must be inconceivably old, yeah, because he's been walking through this for thousands of years, trying to meet his goal. So yeah, he's really damn old, thousands of years. The safeguard is just trying to protect anyone who might have the terminal gene. Uh, yeah, of course, because they try to murder anything that doesn't have the gene, and the all goal is to have somebody with the gene. They won't kill them, so they're not, you know, they're not for that. They try to preserve somebody because that's their goal. That's programmed into them. So yeah. Next scene. Oh no! I still had one. Casmac's kid is Sibo's child. Yeah, because the last chapter, when Kitty swept away by the water, the orb from level 9 Sibo expands, and the kid is born, and he has a gas mask, probably just to get away from the fires or anything that can contaminate her. So to keep safe. So yeah. Yeah. Okay. Next one. Next layer. Killy and Sibo's bodies split the atoms of the food they eat to maximize the fuel efficiency. Yeah, because Killy and Sibo's because they can to reduce energy, they can just eat less and just turn it into energy because the bodies are so advanced, so far ahead. So why would they need to change all that? Why would they waste energy if they can just reuse it? I mean, they're not humans anymore, so they don't need to eat anymore. Each body is modified safeguards. Yeah, but he's not really human anymore after such a long time, because humans just rot away after that kind of time, except mummies, but he's not a mummy, so and yeah, he's just changed to a safeguard, like I said earlier. So the city could produce as many level 9 exterminators as it wants, and level 9 is nowhere near the limit. Yeah, there could be no more levels. We don't really know. I mean, the highest bet we know in the manga itself is level 9, so we just have no clue how big the number goes. So, yeah, could get more, but we don't know, basically. We have no clue. And Kiryu has forgotten everything about his past other than the fact that he must find that terminal gene. Yeah, we've seen like a sort of flashbacks that when he restores his own body from the blast of Sibo, when she nukes the whole place through being a level 9, because everything tries to kill her. That he has sort of memories of being of other safeguards, like he has a memory of Sonic on another safeguard with him, and Demo and Eco with a bunch of trees in the background, and the GBE that he finds, and all these kinds of things, and other points in the manga, like with the girl and the dog. So yeah. Next level. Finding a terminal gene would mean the genocide of countless innocent Silicon life. Well, yeah, they want to maintain the chaos so they can thrive and don't have to fight constantly against everything and anything. Well, still the safeguards, but they're not the main thing on the menu. And if the power got back to the humans, then they would be exterminated massively. But they're not innocent. They must die all. So yeah. I find it good. How the fuck you ever say is innocent? In the end, he tries to find a way to see the net sphere because he was just so focused on the net sphere and he just really wanted to see the net sphere. Really wanted to see it. To see it so bad for so long he lived in the megastructures. You just really want to see. But in the end, he murdered a lot of people, tried to take over, tried to steal a 9-level safeguard body. So, it's. Yeah, he's not completely innocent, but hey. Toei AI Immense of Madness is due to having personalities. I mean, yeah, he Men's Madness is due to having personalities because she has emotions. She's attached to Sue. She is angry at the head and the center AI and all these kinds of things. It tries to protect the people in Cave 13. So she tries to save all these people. She's trying to save, and that's why, of course, with so much power and so much responsibility, somebody would get mad. Yes, if people can get mad, they can mad be also. If they didn't have personalities, then it would just be a task and it didn't matter to them. But yeah, there could be. Inner layers are recycled to build other layers. Yeah, the builders just recycling old parts in them to use as new parts. Yeah, that's true because they need to build. They need to recycle because they can't be using new parts all the damn time because they're not. Well, it can be really far away to get new parts. So yeah, can see why. Demosevsky doesn't want to kill Pencil. No, he hesitates before shooting her. And a lot of theories and fan art has been going on over the years that it was his ex-girlfriend or that he's really in love with her. And you also see it in Gag One that he's in love with her, just fondling around, trying to get her attention, etc., etc. So yeah, that's been a joke. Maybe he knows her from a lifetime ago and she doesn't anymore, and that's why he doesn't want to shoot her, but who knows? We don't know why he wants to do it. Killy has committed some sort of atrocity on Silicon Life. Yeah, no shit, he killed a shitload of them. Because they don't belong in this sort of order. Because he is just kind of, well, kind of evil. He's not. Killy is not the best person in the world, obviously. If he kills so many other species and other Silicon Life and whatnot, just because they're in his way, so they must die. It's an eat or be eaten world, basically. So yeah, it's not the easiest. Yeah. So yeah, that's why they want him to kill because in a vault there were all these Silicon Life fetuses, and he just blew the place up. So yeah. GB does nothing but send a signal to the city telling it to make a change into artificial gravity. Yeah, like I said before, it takes its signal, sends it to the megastructure, changes the gravitation, and then just everything changes. The landscape changes every point he shoots. But the thing still transforms, so it's just part of it. But yeah, it's difficult to do that in a movie, that's why it looks like that. So yeah. Tolkien Builder in chapter 53 is one of the builders that make dead ends due to go insane now. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna close the window. Yeah, okay. Where was I? Yeah. Talking building chapter 53 is one of the builders that make dead ends due to going senile. Yeah, because his head is swung off by a silicon life. Thus, after how long he's been there, and telling this all to Kiri about level 9 Sibo, that he doesn't know anymore, or just parts of the story doesn't work anymore. But it is what it is. You see what you see, so that's the story. Because he waited for Kiri to tell him that. And there was this small safeguard, a small builder that could talk and just react and other things. So it was just an oddity, basically. Mori is doomed to worse fate than death, yeah, because she is in that space, in a sub in the megastructure, can't go anywhere, can't leave it. That Kitty gets her out of there. There's a small chance, because when will he ever get back? Never, probably. So, yeah, it's difficult to being with in that empty space with nobody but the worm and the toy. So, yeah, they're just stuck together in there. I mean, there's also a fan comic that I scanned in where Sibo, where she remembers all the things with him, with Killy, Mori, and that Killy comes back, wakes her up again, and that they're in a new body, and they're back together again. So yeah, that's also sweet. Goliath is synthetic, symbolic of Demonsevsky. Yeah, because the Goliath has survived as a prehistoric fish found in Australia before the dinosaurs, basically, and it's been also surviving in a thing for so long, and so is Demonsevsky surviving in his own thing for so long, so they can relate. It's also kind of symbolic to the megastructure being so old and being so far that it survived so long, and that is the Goliath too. It's kind of symbolic to that too, I could say. Yeah. The city could collapse into a black hole, but doesn't. I mean, it needs to be near one. It's still in the Milky Way, so it can be, but it's not that big that it didn't swallow all of the Milky Way. So no, it's not really. Maybe because of the sun, but no, that's the stairs. So no, not really. No. He doesn't know where or how he got the GB. Yeah, no, because the only thing we see of that is like in a flashback, in a memory of him, that he just his hands with all kinds of tentacles string from about, with all kinds of tentacles on it. They're trying to reach for the GB, but we don't know how he got it. Maybe he got it from somebody, maybe he found it somewhere, maybe he got off guard cheap sleep and found it that way. Who knows? We don't know. He has no human spark left, or even his brain. Yeah, because he's not human anymore, and he's been walking for thousands of years, so a body can't be held for thousands of years. It's like the same with Linden's body, for instance. I mean, that's now a whole 100 years old, and it's also constantly being replaced with other body parts. There's almost no human part of him left. It's just basically wax and other materials in him, and there's nothing left of him anymore. He's just a puppet now, basically. Satanism in noise, yeah, because the cult, the Silicon Life, tried to create the chaos by creating also some safeguards. The safeguards just to take over as a terrorist group, basically. And the safeguards tried to take in Metsubi to stop them as their own agent, as a sort of meant safeguard, as a high level safeguard. So yeah, but if you read Blame, you don't see anything of that cult left, so it doesn't really make any sense to have it in noise. But it looks nice and it looks cool, so why not? Characters' names are taken from the Great Sky River. That's a novel because a lot of the characters were taken from the novels, like Sibo, Mansep, Killy, and other characters were taken from the manga or the backs. He used it for, and also the backs of components for a computer, for instance, like on the back of boxes, like Demochevsky. Well, no, that's a Russian name, but other stuff for doing that. Yeah. Next one. The next layer, you see an image with a staircase going down a giant shaft. Yeah, that's not from Blame, that's from Abra. But most think that's from Blame because look at it. It obviously looks like something you would see in Blame, so that makes sense, at least. And wait, let me look up something. Okay. Central AI, Sibo, closer. I'm looking up the characters for a second. Mivi, yeah, good. Mivi were also taken from, and also different parts, the Silicon Life that Kitty attacks. Also say that they have a grudge against them because they killed so many of them, and also Mivi is also with them. So yeah, Mivi and yeah, whatever. Every time Sibo copies herself into a new body, a new consciousness is created, and the old one dies, meaning real Sibo never even met Kitty. Not really, because when Sibo got into Sonicon's body, she called out to Kitty, so she still knew him. And even as a level 9 safeguard, she still had an idea that we was Kitty, because otherwise he would have attacked her because he had no clue. Because he just got shot, but still got saved, so still got his arm fixed. So yeah. Just no, but I can see the idea was why you would think that, because it's constantly a new body, so every cell in your body constantly gets replaced, or are you really you? So in that sense you could think that, but yeah. Shinosu Musubi gets turned into Sonicon. could be because it looks like kind of like Sanakon with the oral safeguard body, but does have the weapon that Pencil later on uses. Maybe the weapon gets into Pencil's hands later on, but we don't know. Is it really Sanakon? I don't think so, but yeah, I don't think so. They just operate on a different level. Maybe she got taken into the safeguards eventually and changed into that, but who knows? She don't. Yeah, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. What's next? The city is made from dark matter. No, it's made from planets, not dark matter. And dark matter, we don't even know what it is, because it's supposed to be the universe itself, basically, in a nutshell. Something like that. But it's been debating on, like, does it really exist? Yes, no, it doesn't exist. It exists. So the scientists itself, they themselves don't know. We have no clue if it exists or not. So, yeah, it's an hard one to explain because we don't know. Sibo doesn't tell that he is the authority because he would be forced to stop interfering with the safeguard. I don't think that would happen because he's been going on with this goal for so long. Because why would he just start to become a mindless soldier of the safeguard, just murdering everybody without the gene? If he just has his own consciousness and is not part of the system anyway. Well, beyond that point, that has been told he's still part of the system, but he's not under their control anymore. Basically, he's not one of the hive. The hive mind, you could say. Yeah, kind of. Not part of that system anymore. But he was still, yeah. The Watchers evolved from humans. The Watchers, yeah. The insect-like people that shot at a group of people early on in the mid-manga, basically. And they could have evolved from people doing mutation through this insect-like bugs and just shooting out lasers and whatnot and having their whole hive sitting there like bees or wasps, for instance. Or they could be experimented on, but we don't really know what their thing is, basically. Killy, Demo, and Aiko knew each other in the past, but all memories of have deteriorated. Yeah, because Killy has a memory of those two, of Demo and Killy, of Demo and Aiko with some trees in the past, waving at each other, but they don't recognize him and he doesn't recognize them. So he might known of them at one point and forgot about them, or it's some kind of error, or yeah, the latter. Probably the first one, but also, again, we're not really sure. It's really a story you have to explore in yourself, and you have to theorize about to know what this is. The R book explains also things, but it's not enough to get you anywhere. But still, some things are explained. Okay, next level. Log 2 book would have been too old. Definitely has rotten by now. Yeah, the book that Kitty has in Log 2 with the girl on the dock. He didn't really thought about how old the book was supposed to be. He didn't think about like why would they have books in a world like this. But the book could be like 100 years or 200 years old and could still be handled. It still could be in somebody's collection, an archive, an old archive that somebody has, because people just kept holding on to books or just kept making them because they find it a better way to read. It's probably unlikely in the world as the mecha structure, obviously, but it could be. Who knows? It's an idea, but we don't really know, and he doesn't know either because he didn't really think about it. It's just, oh, it's a book. Yeah, And then there's a bit of a poem that's in a real book, which he put in from a real book, which you also find out in the Reddit and the Discord. I don't really know what it's called again, but yeah, it was from a real book. And Kitty didn't know what land was, so that was compliant that the Earth is no longer around, and yes, it's been so long that nobody knows what Earth really is. Kitty's a child on poster in noise. Yeah, there's a poster in noise with a bunch of kids of it, and one of the kids looks like looks like Kitty. It could be Kitty, but we're not sure. Could be Kitty before he became a cop, or it could just look a lookalike, because Nihei did a lot of the same faces over and over, but we're not sure. It could be, but who knows? He looks a lot like it. Missing cube during final fight in the Master Edition. Yeah, in the original manga, in the last chapter, when he fought against the safeguard, there was this cube around Kitty when the safeguard pulled his hand out. He was the Kitty was protecting Sibo and Sanakon, and this, and then and it looks like he's frozen salt in place with a cube. But this cube is also used by sketching to use as positions, like what positions you want a character in, and the width and etc. But so it could be an error like that that's being kept in, or it was thing. So some people think it's real and it's supposed to be in there and it's just removed it, but who knows? The original Kitty died in the third ego. I mean, yeah, he's not his original self anymore. It probably is fresh, no. Or it could be a copy or a clone. Because he's just, Flash can't be that long around, so he's not really himself anymore. It's like more like a clone of himself, just built like that. Like I say, in Studios thought there's many clones of him throughout the whole mecha structure, just sleeping about, and when one dies, he would wake up and would just continue the journey just to make sure that it is completed. But that's also just an idea, a theory, which I don't really believe, because the mecha structure changes so much stuff gets blown up. How would that system even function? Sure, it could, like, it's just automatically, but it's a, I don't know. Then there should be a whole system behind that, and somebody that had that idea, and it could be, but it could be. It's an idea, but man who shoots Kitty in the head has Kitty's face. Yeah, that's a gobbled together. In the end, a gobbled together safeguard, and then it's gobbled together Silicon Life that tries as a clone of him, to kill him, basically. But he fails. He gets shot in the face. He gets shot, blown up, and Kitty gets shot in the head, but survives. There's only one leg because he lost it in another battle that we didn't see. Unstable region of alternate timeline turns from metal to flesh. Yeah, the alternative timeline that's Kitty and Sue. Kitty and Sibo are transported to when they met Sue and Mansep. He also kind of see these pages in an X-Log in the art book, blame and so on, that there's all walls of flesh and he walks through, but yeah, we don't really. It's an unstable region of different timelines going around, and just really unstable. So stuff just happens constantly. When he also meets alternate Sibo and more advanced Silicon Life. Alternate Sibo implies alternate Kitty. Yeah, if there's an alternate Sibo, there could also be an alternate Killy. But he doesn't know this previous Killy. But yeah, that's just, we never see it, so not that. It's a nice idea to look at what that kid would have done or what he would been doing, etc. But probably the same idea. But who knows? The city is a living organism, with the authority being the brain, safeguard being the immune system. Sure, yeah, you could see it as a city being the heart of the city, just pumping blood through the veins that are the streets and just having that whole system, and the police being, the antibodies that try to protect it from viruses like the criminality, etc., etc. Sure, why not? Fun idea. Oh, that's, yeah. Log 1 and 2 are actually the ends. No, because the kids from log 1 was a boy, blonde hair or white hair, had no gas mask, no pigtails, and Killy had still his leg. And in the last chapter, Killy didn't have his leg, was chopped off, and had a pole as a leg, and he didn't grow back a leg, and he didn't have his leg to reattach it like he did in his arm, like he did with his arm in the beginning of the manga. One said in the Discord, in the Reddit, that his arm, that he had a bandage around his leg, but he didn't have his leg with him, so how could he reattach it if he didn't have it? So yeah. No. Oh. No. No. Not now. Okay. Next one. Many panels are drawings. Many things are part of the Nihei's dreams. I mean, yeah, lots of things could have been just from his dreams because they don't look too logical, or they just look at random intervals or just make no sense. Sure, like the flying mental race or other ideas he had could be dreams or something like that. Sure, I could believe that. Things like the Brzezinski paintings, some of them were dreams, so that's obvious. Some things. The Brzezinski's pen cap, yeah, there was a few pages where they come back to a residential area that some safeguards bring up at random from deep into the mecha structure when people still live there. And PD in demo found a pen cap a long time ago, but he has no clue what it is, so he asked what it could be for. Which is real alien to them, and for us it's just a pen cap, just the most normal thing you could see. Nothing special about it, but for them it's just alien. So yeah. And somebody on the Reddit some people thought on the Reddit there would be as with the page as a picture what the pen cap, what that thing is. But it's a pen cap. If they just looked for 5 seconds longer, they could see that it's a pen cap. So it's a really stupid question, basically. They just have no attention span, basically, for that kind of stuff. So yeah. Play for it is the name that's on the suit of Killy that he found in an armory locket somewhere around the middle of the manga. And what means play for it? What it means again? I don't really know anymore what it means or where it was from. Maybe from another novel that he used it for. I think it was from a novel somewhere that he used it. But yeah, play for it. Swarm of bugs that give Killy coordinates were controlled by an unknown entity. Yeah, he finds a panel in an alley of and those are basically just small robot bugs that just swarm around as kind of like fish. And he asks what it is, where he's from. He is from authority, so it's just part of the system of the authority system. And it tells him coordinates to where something like from the authority has been, or like something important, like the armor for it could be found. And then he goes there, basically. It's also somewhere in the manga, and that's basically that. Flying mental race, yeah, that was from the first pages, first double spread of the first chapter of Blame, which is basically just see flying mental race going in the distance. So it could be an early idea that he just thought up and had no clue, because the majority of the manga, especially in the beginning, he was just drawing and thinking up ideas when he was just drawing out, and he had no real clue where it was going, but he just was drawing as he was going. Especially in the beginning, you can see that it was the case. So, yeah. Yeah, and it could also be a metaphor for something, but I don't know what a metaphor was again. Negative Corridor is basically a real short story in the end, as an extra for noise volume, and you see a silicon life going through different evolutions as a cocoon, become a butterfly, and we see a pendulum with inside a butterfly wing and a picture. Maybe it was a human once and tried to evolutionize itself and experimented on and could fly. Maybe that was the dream of her, to fly. And somebody in another certain life found that in a wall as a man. Basically, that she wanted to fly and got her wish and got to fly. And that's basically that. Plants growing without dirt, yeah, that's the lab where Kitty found the scientist without legs. They were chopped off by a safeguard. There was a high level safeguard that was murdering everybody. And they were growing plants and bioengineers, basically. Plants and going without dirt, because there is no dirt, because there is no earth. So, yeah. And he lied that they had all kinds of memories for genes, but he didn't have, just to take him somewhere to fix him up. Yeah. These flashbacks, yeah, that's basically Kitty's memories after he restores from the blast that level 9 Sibo gave, and he had to restore himself, and he sees all different memories of him picking up a CB with tentacles growing out of him, and having seen demo and seen Ico in distance with some trees, and some other points with Sibo crying for him to kill the director because he wanted that so bad, and the dog and the girl with the book, and yeah, what I already told you. Monitor footage of sunset, and trees. Yeah, there was both like early on in the manga when Kitty met a tribe and he had a big screen with some palm trees, a beach, and some people. Well, that's a bit of archival footage that they probably found somewhere on a sub, and they displayed it. There's some kind of memory of Earth that they never had, and they never knew how it would look like. Something nice to have in the background, basically. And the mecha structure. And it's also kind of the same with a little known OVA as Pale Cocoon. And Pale Cocoon is an anime that is also people, and it's a giant structure that is above Earth, and they're all archiving all different stuff from Earth. So video, photos from animals, humans, cities, landscapes, etc., etc., etc. Just have a reconstruction of how Earth looked like, and what it all was, and what it all was about. And yeah, it's a little small OVA you should be watching. It's pretty fun. Log 42 cockpit. No, that's the stuff that he found, the Playford armor, and that he basically just went through and just. Yeah. That kind. It's not really important. I don't really know why it's in here. Actually, it's not that important. I can look it up. What was that about? Was in volume 7 and mass edition 4. He makes his way back to the Nemesowski Stadium. For years, megastructure pairs a colony of caterpillar-like organisms and a mysterious strider patrolling abandoned halls. Reaches a tank of tiny aquatic animals. An unseen authority entering communications compelling to animals to arrange themselves into glyphs. Yeah, that's what I told you. That's already the creature with the nanobots just telling them the coordinates. To an army for the only discovers some botanical garden. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Next one and last one. Good. Killy is no longer sentient or may have. Killy is no longer sentient or may never have been. Yeah, because it's been thousands of years. Everything is being replaced. He has no real memory of more of what has happened. He can't store it all anymore because it's been so long. So he just lives in the now, basically, or like sort of now. He's not much memory left anymore. Time loop? No, it's not a time loop. I already explained it with chapter 1 and chapter 2 being the same. No, that's talking about it. No, it's not. It's just not. It's not the case. Nah, no. Lots of different evidence that point out to that it's not being the case. Yeah, no. Every exterminator was once a human. Could be. I mean, Silicon Life are supposed to be humans. Like cyber terrorist goes in to transfer their own consciousness into another body and just become a new human and just and become a Silicon Life and just go on from body to body. And exterminators are more like, they're more like zombies, more like dogs that just are mindlessly murdering anything around them. So I doubt those safeguards really dead. The city is purgatory and Netflix is hell. Sure, also a nice idea that the city is purgatory and Netflix is hell. Sure, that the city is just this endless loop of constant murder and getting to survive and whatnot, and Netflix is like their end place and they can't really escape from it. Sure, why not? Sibo wants access to Netflix for power, not curiosity or malevolence. That could be. Sibo wants access. Yeah, could be. It's not a curiosity, and it just is to get the power and to be and to do everything that she wants. But hell, even as a level 9, she still wanted to help Kitty. So it still was not really all about the power. If that was the case, she wouldn't have helped him. So I mean, it's probably not that. Still want to help him. So, yeah. Material for the city is harvested from alternate timelines, each their own city. Could be, but it's mostly from other planets. But you could do it from like the different seed ships, like the seed ship in Toev Industries is a seed ship because the AI is talking about that it wants to explore again and just teleport itself, eats the tow heavy industries to outside the city, but it doesn't know how big the city is. It's basically gone mad and just does whatever it wants. It goes to its original programming again. So yeah. And you can see this and you see the sea chips in COS, in Kaina, Apossimis, Biomecha, etc., 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 this kind of ideas. So yeah, no. The city is an allegory for society. Sure, why not? Could be done. Blame is a slice of life manga. Sure, it's a slice of life manga. There's lots of bits in the manga. Just walking around for forever, just talking to people, just eating something. It's just, yeah. But not everything is, it's a cyberpunk manga, and he's just killing constantly and murdering and, battles and whatnot. All kinds of weird shit. No one shits anymore. Yeah, if humanity is so advanced, so gone over evolution that they don't need to shit anymore, and they can just, and you don't see any waste or anywhere, any litter or whatnot, so they don't need toilets anymore, and they just have evolved past that. So yeah, that could be done. Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, well, that was the whole thing. Finally, I have it. God, but hey, just wanted to go through, but I'm not gonna do this a third time. Thank you. Already wasted an hour on this before, literally an hour ago or something. So I want to be done with this. But it was fun to do, though. It was fun to do because the other YouTuber just didn't know anything of Nihei's works and didn't have the knowledge that I built up over the years. So I had a lot more to tell than yeah, should be done by somebody that actually knows, a bit more than the average reader, you could say. And I have about a lot of memorabilia and collections and whatnot. And people of the Discord wanted me to make a video about this so we could have a bit of stuff and better video. And why is the gang not here? Because I need to wait on them, and it's just my channel, and I just want to make a quick video about this and just to explain everything. And sure, you can make your own theories about this and fill it in, or just fill in the things I might have missed or whatnot. But I'm not all knowing, so and nor are they. Well, there's this. So thank you for watching, and have a good one. Subscribe, maybe. Bye.